Hello everyone, my name is Bean. Thank you very much for coming back. And this is bi-weekly radio show in English. And today is a very, very special day because we have a guest speaker. And this is going to be my first time to actually have someone in my radio show. I always wanted to try this, and this guest speaker is willing to join my experiment. So I asked him to come to my show. So today's guest is The Searching. Welcome to the stream or video. How are you today?
Thank you very much, Ms.Bean. It's actually been, I was surprised when you asked me.
Are you surprised?
Yeah. It feels like an honor, actually.
You should be proud because you're my guinea pig.
Well, I'm happy to be it. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to ask some questions. And if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. But I'm sure that you will be willing to answer my questions and take your time to, answer all those questions because I don't have too many, but I have some questions.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let me start with why are you called The Searching?
That's it's a question that a lot of people already ask me.
Yeah.
Every time I do a stream, there's like always somebody who comes in my streams like, why you call yourself The Searching? It's like, I don't know, the name itself isn't really that interesting itself if you look at it, but the story behind it, for me, has a lot of meaning.
Right.
So I'm going to try to keep it short as possible, of course. So actually the name The Searching actually came from before I actually started my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago now, I guess. And I was in a really bad place, like mentally. I was looking at a lot of streamers on YouTube, and I was asking myself, can I do the same actually? Would that be something that I could do? Would I find it interesting to do? And I love playing games, and I want to find a way to actually share it also with people also enjoy it. The way I look at these streamers, of course. And like I said, I was in a really bad place mentally, and I kept looking for a name at a certain point. Like, okay, I have to have a name for my channel. What can I give myself as a name? And at a certain point, I came up with the name The Searching, because at that certain point in my life, I was actually searching for something, like trying to find myself, I guess, and all this madness. And it just sticked on me like glue. It was really interesting for me to actually come up with this name. I just asked myself, like, why don't I just use this name, The Searching? It sounds catchy, I guess, in some way. It sounds original, I think. I just liked it. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'll stick with that name. So it has a little bit of the backstory, how I came up with the name. So it has a little bit personal value to me, I guess. Yeah. So
you still like your name?
Yeah, I still like it. Yeah, I'm not really planning on changing it.
Okay, you stick to The Searching.
Yeah.
How do you feel about when people call your personal name instead of, The Searching?
Well,
Does it matter to you, or?
No, I don't really have a problem with that. In the beginning, like, people asked me, like, okay, what is your real name? And in the beginning, I didn't really want to share it with people. Because I was just starting. It's like, okay, I don't want to get too personal yet.
Right.
So I kept a little bit hidden. But at a certain point, I noticed that a lot of people were coming back, the same people, and I started to get to know them a little bit better, and they started to get to know me a little bit better. And at a certain point, I felt comfortable with these people. So yeah, then they eventually also asked me like, "Yeah, what is your real name?" So I just called them. I just told them like, "Okay, my name is Sven," and yeah, once in a while they call me by my real name, and sometimes they call me by search or searching, and yeah, I don't really have a problem with it actually now.
Okay. Interesting. Because the funny thing is, no one really asks my real name, but people ask your real name all the time, eh? Like, it's such a weird feeling. Like, your name is searching, but like, by the way, what's your real name? Sven. Like, okay, but no one really ever asked my real name. I guess I'll stick to Ms.Bean then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next question. So you were talking about sharing your gameplay, streaming, playing games in public, because you're kind of inspired by other people and you are interested in doing that. What do you find is most interesting and most difficult in playing games, especially in public?
Yeah, for me, when I started, I could only stream, and I was very nervous in the beginning because I didn't really know how to interact with people. I wasn't really that social either, so
Wasn't?
No, I wasn't. Totally not. So I was kind of nervous in the beginning. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna start the game, I'm just gonna play, and then we'll see what's gonna happen. Probably I will have to improvise or something like that. And I was very happy when first people came in and they said hello. I was like, okay, I have to react to them right now, I guess. Because it was something completely new for me. And I didn't really know how to interact with people, like I said. And it was very exciting at the same time. And I liked the feeling that I got from it. And at a certain point, I was like, okay, is this actually more about playing the game right now? Or is it like interacting with people, get to know people from all over the world? And the idea of the interaction, I found it very interesting. To actually get to know people better in that way, like you get to know how they play their games and what kind of games they're playing, and it becomes a whole other platform at a certain point. Like okay, you're playing your game and people are coming to your streams and they're interacting with you and like talking and asking questions and doing their own thing, and it becomes very joyful, I guess. Because you can share your moment that you're having with other people. So for me, the whole thing of the streaming itself is more the interaction, I guess, because that's the whole ground rule, I guess, that you interact with people from the moment you start streaming. Because there's no point if you start streaming and you don't talk to people, like then yeah. So interaction is definitely key.
Right. Nowadays, people share games, play games in public, and you think the interaction is a key when you play games in public. Why do you think more and more people play games and share games, even though you can always play games on your own? Do you think people find it's interactions a key like you?
I think it depends on what kind of gamer you are. Like, I mean, like how you want to share your gameplay, of course. There are a lot of people who there are a lot of big YouTubers or big Twitch streamers,
right?
That prefer to do uploads, and they get the interaction from the comments, I guess.
Right.
Because maybe it's easier for them to do it like this. And when, of course, when you're doing streams and you have like, I don't know, 200 people in your chat, it gets a little bit chaotic, I guess, at a certain point. To follow everybody. But I think it depends from person to person how far you want to go with this. Of course, if you can combine it, then yeah, if you can combine it with uploads and then with live streams to find some balance in between, then you have a little bit of both sides, I guess. You have the interaction that the people comment on your videos and you can respond back, and then it's also some kind of interaction with your viewers, I guess. And of course, while you're streaming, it's a little bit more personal. It's more direct, I guess, with your viewers.
But yeah, but probably people find some sort of a connection with each other through games, like commenting or chatting. But some people don't even care to respond to the people in the chat. And some people might find it's impossible, because if there are like 200 people, 400 people watching, how can you react to those people in the chat? What do you think about this? It seems important for you to interact with people, but for some people it's probably not possible, or it just doesn't matter. Do you think you and those people also find some sort of connections with people still? Or is just probably what they are looking for, what you're looking for, are completely different?
For me, it's like I don't know where my channel is gonna go. First of all, I want to keep doing what I'm doing right now. I'm really enjoying it. But I mentioned this also to my viewers, I think somewhere last month or a little bit longer, that I will always take the time to interact with my viewers. Even if if my channel would grow and suddenly I have like 100 or 200 people in my chat, I will always even pause my game to actually interact with them. I know there are certain viewers who don't like that, because I already had it before, that there were viewers coming in, and I was like talking with my viewers like more than 10 minutes or something. and this person was like, can you continue with the game, please? I was like, look, I'm sorry, but these are my viewers, this is my channel, and I set the priorities here. So if I want to stop my game and talk with my viewers, then that's my decision, because my viewers are very important for me, and I want to keep following what they're saying. Okay, if I notice that they're talking to each other and it's not really directly towards me, then I will let them do their thing. As long as it sticks to the gameplay also with what I'm doing. But I will always make time for my viewers, definitely. For me, interaction with streaming, I guess, is more important, I guess. Because you have the direct answer, of course. If you comment on the video, then or if you get a comment on your video, you can wait for like, I don't know how long before you respond to it. And maybe that viewer is like waiting for you to respond. So for me, live streaming and interaction during the live stream is very important.
Yeah, I understand that completely. For me, I feel in the same way. I want to interact with people as much as I can during my stream time, because if the interaction is not important, then I'll just upload videos. Well, the purpose could be different, like live streaming could gather more people and could be actually a way for people to subscribe to my channel. I don't know which is still more important to get more subscribers, but I feel in the same way. Interaction with people is important during live streaming. Okay, let me ask you a little more easy questions.
Okay.
What is your favorite food?
My favorite food. You call that an easy question?
No, it's not easy.
No, honestly, I don't really have a favorite food. I really don't. Like, I would almost eat everything.
Are there any food you love to eat but you're actually avoiding?
Ooh, that is a really good question. How much time do I have actually to answer these questions? Is there like a time limit or something?
Maybe I'll give you 5 seconds.
Oh no. Yeah, I love eating fast food.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I love eating it, and I'm really trying to avoid it as much as possible. Because I want to stay healthy, of course.
Right.
Because there were years ago, was the only thing I ate was fast food, and at a certain point, I started to notice that my health was going down really fast.
How did you feel about yourself?
Oh, I felt really bad. I could really start to notice that my whole body was reacting in a really bad way.
You start to feel sick and stuff?
Yeah, I started to feel sick and barely slept anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really bad. At a certain point, I realized that I really had to stop.
Okay, so you have to tell me which fast food
Wow.
poisoned you.
Well, fries, pizza, hamburgers,
okay.
really greasy food. I was switching it off from one day to another. Oh yeah, what I'm gonna eat today? Oh yeah, yesterday we had fries. Oh, then today we're gonna eat pizza.
Okay.
It was like that. Every day of the week, I was like, okay, I have to really stop this. But at that moment, I didn't really care, I guess, because I didn't really notice. Till the moment, of course, I started to notice that my body was falling apart.
Yeah, well, I can completely understand that. I had the same experience when I was younger. Because being young is usually being reckless, and you don't really care about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I've had a hamburgers a few days in a row when I was a high school kid. And the third or fourth day, I literally felt like throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
Just by smelling the fast food.
Yeah, but me it was
McDonald's.
For me it was the same. I was like, oh no, this is getting a little bit too far right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I learned something was definitely wrong with the fast food I was eating.
Yeah.
Well, we learned the lesson.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Okay, I think this is going to be the last question from me today. The other day, you're talking about yourself during Let's Talk.
Yes.
Your struggles.
Mm-hmm.
I call it mental illness. Why did you decide to talk about this and share with people?
First of all, it was totally not easy to actually really talk about it.
Sorry to interrupt, could you explain about what you're going through and what kind of struggles do you experience?
Yeah. So the thing I was talking about with my mental illness is called bipolar disorder. What it actually is, well, it's not easy to actually explain, but I'll try to do my best. because I think it's a topic that's could help a lot of people. The struggles I actually go through on a daily basis. The thing with bipolar is that it is very hard to understand it, what it actually is, till you actually feel what's going on inside of you. So in the beginning, people would say, okay, bipolar has a lot to do with mood swings. And in the beginning, I also thought it was like that, but it's so much more. It's much more severe than what you actually would think it is. The thing is, with bipolar, it's very unpredictable. Because I don't really know. Like, I'm doing this interview with you right now, and I feel very relaxed, very calm, very normal.
Okay.
And I could actually feel very depressed in, let's say, I don't know, half an hour later. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's very unpredictable because it has something to do with the chemicals in my brain. That's with people who don't have bipolar. Everybody has the chemicals that produce emotions and feelings that we feel every single day, from happiness till sadness. And with somebody who has bipolar, those chemicals in your brain are actually enormously big. Like, how can I say it? That my brain actually produces too many chemicals who make me feel happy or sad. Which, with the outcome, is that I feel so much more than what a regular person would feel. Like, for example, if the person would feel happy, I would feel like extremely happy, like really I could take on the whole world, and everything is like so colorful, and I feel beyond my feelings actually. And then if a person would be sad, I would feel extremely sad. I know I'm like repeating myself right now, but it's very hard to explain it if you can't really feel it, because everything what happens with bipolar people is that it's the emotion, it's the feeling itself, and it's very hard to explain that to people who don't really feel it. So it's very hard. The daily struggles are very hard because I can't really know what's gonna happen with me.
Right. Are there any ways that we can feel or at least experience what it's like to have this condition?
I have to say no to this. Well, I don't think it's possible. Because, like I said, it all starts with your own brain. That your brain produces these chemicals, and it's just too much, and it's very overwhelming, because and it goes from feeling to touching something, that it's so overempowering, so overwhelming, that it's out of control. Like, for the smallest thing, I would feel happy. Like, I could see a color or a bird flying in the sky, and I would feel very calm or very, very happy, and I would get the biggest smile on my face. and people would look at me, it's like this, it's just a bird. But for me, it's so much more. It's like I would feel the bird flying in the sky. Like I am actually flying in the sky. It feels like that, like I'm feeling free. And these are just like the positive sides of being bipolar. The opposite side, the negative side, is that, and that's one of the hardest struggles, I guess, to actually understand, is when you come to the point when you feel sad and even feel depressed, and you get anxiety attacks or panic attacks, and they're so severe that it almost drives you into this very dark place, a very dark neighborhood, that there's even thought of suicide and stuff like that. And it's very fragile, because the smallest thing could actually tip me over the edge. And the thing is, I know what is going on. Like I feel sad and I feel depressed, and I acknowledge that as well, but there is nothing I can do about it. Like if you would have a good friend or a family member, they would come to you and they would hug you and they would say, okay, everything is gonna be okay, I'm here. And that person would feel relief somehow. With me, it's very hard to get through that. Even if the person is so kind and just being there for me, not saying a single word, I would even push that person away, because I'm in that state of mind and I can't break through it. And for me, it's very hard. Like I said, at the same time, I also realize what's going on and I want to break free from it, but I just can't. I'm so stuck in that moment that it actually really hurts me, because I can't fight it.
Okay. Yeah, I almost get the impression like when you're feeling like each emotion, it's just my impression, you almost get a shot of emotion that someone gave you. So you have to take it, you have to feel it. Because it's something you're given, it's something you have to wear, it's something you have to feel it. So you can't have control over it. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Yeah. And it's very random. Like I don't really know. Every day is like a new adventure. I'm trying to see this in a very positive way, because you have to stay positive as much as you can. But at the same time, you have to be realistic also, that you can't really force yourself into being positive, because it doesn't work like that.
Right.
And you can't take it really, you can't, well, take it for granted. Like, I mean, like, okay, I can feel, like I said, I can feel good, and then half an hour later, I can feel really bad. It's like you said, you've been given a shot from emotion, and you just have to take it. That's the only thing you can do. It is what it is, and it's not pleasant. Totally not, because you don't have any control over it.
How do you feel about talking about it compared to when you didn't talk about it?
It feels relieving, I guess, if that's the correct word for it. It feels that there's some kind of weight off my shoulders, and my plan is to keep going with this. Like, I want to keep sharing this with people who are also maybe dealing with this, but they don't know. People who feel disconnected somehow, or they feel depressed, something like that. I want to reach out to more people like this, that this is something real and there's nothing to really feel ashamed about, because there's nothing you can do about it, because it's part of you, and you're just a human being, you know. And then there's a lot of stigma around it as well, I guess, a lot of taboo, because people just don't know what it really is. And for me in the beginning, it was the same. I also reacted like this, that I didn't really want to accept it. That's like, okay, how is this possible that I have this? But by doing more research about it and watching other people tell their story about being bipolar, it really opened my eyes, and it made you feel like less alone, I guess. So I want to reach out to more people that it's okay to feel down, or to feel depressed, or even saying like feeling suicidal. There is nothing bad about it. These are all very negative things. I can understand that, but it's just part of being human, I guess. And there's always somebody out there who wants to talk to you or just listen to you.
Right. Yeah, I think so. It's important to let people know that you also have the struggle, condition, pain. And by sharing it, you educate people, and you are also educated. And like you said, you don't feel alone anymore. Because before, probably you're trapped inside and you just get stuck in your head and go to the place you don't want to go. But once you open up, and people will open up, I find it was very, very educational thing for me to at least understand what's going on with this bipolar disorder. I myself have suffered from depression in the past, and the worst thing I did was just get stuck in my head without even knowing that there are people trying to help me or try to really understand what it is. But like you said, it's part of us. People might describe it as something negative, but it's who we are and what we are. I want to continue, but I have to stop you here.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for sharing your time. So I don't know, if you feel like it, and if you still want to come back, I might ask you to come back again. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed it.
Okay,
thank you.
That's good. No problem. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and let us know. Let me know. Let him know what you guys thought about this. And as always, thank you very much for spending time in this radio show. And the guest was The Searching. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you guys again in the next radio show. Bye-bye.
Bye.